historically, where they've never fucked with us, that maybe they'll stop fucking with us and we can just be men and admit the fuck that we were trying to work something out in a more diplomatic fashion without so much fucking bloodshed.
Well, J.D. Vance is in Pakistan. He's negotiating a deal.
Hold on. If they're not willing to accept the fact that, the United States has been, hey, we did some shit, we apologize, let's do our best to try to make this right, and then they still want to say that, then at that point, I'm like, oh, okay, we got to do what we got to do, because we're not going to let America fall. But why are we rushing to bloodshed before diplomacy? That's my question.
We are diplomatic all the time. Are you kidding me? Communication never stops.
And with these ceasefires, again, let us in Israel to fuck up and go back on the fucking ceasefires. Bro.
Be fair, right? We've only had one sitting president go to the DNC. One. The only sitting presidency, the tried diplomacy that ever went to the DNC. That's Donald J. Trump. He went there. He believes in diplomacy. But if you're going to act like, what happened with the 12-day war? We obliterated the nuclear sites. All right, cool. We obliterated. But we're going to have the ability to retrieve that material. They already have.
And it's not obliterated, Anthony. Listen to what you just said. And it's not obliterated. If they can still retrieve it, it's not obliterated.
Okay, so I'm not saying that it was like the term obliterated is relative. It doesn't mean that they couldn't recover it based on the information we had at the time. We believe when he said it during the 12-day war, right after the 12-day war, that it was a successful mission. We didn't build up the troops immediately. We had bad intelligence.
Then that's what I'm saying. Like, this is so weird. You guys are now definitions are relative. No, obliterated is not relative. Obliterated means obliterated since it's mean obliterated. So again, then we got to start looking at our administration. Then you're giving us false fucking information. Give us information.
So then we just don't react and even give that information, right?
Had fucking Clapper or whoever was on there, and then some other nuclear scientists, they all were saying you couldn't destroy the material. Like, you can't do that.
Exactly.
You can't bomb it from the outside. It just doesn't work that way. I know you know that, and I think some people are like literally confused. He was referring to their site. Like, to say otherwise is just kind of weird. But that material, and we didn't know if they smuggled it out, which apparently they said that they were not going to cease production. Anything above 20% becomes weapon grades capable. And it becomes a point of saying, well, the rest of the world doesn't want you to have this. Like, nobody sides with you on having this. And so we're going to say you can't have this, and we're going to go ahead and intervene on that. So, I mean, even there, yeah, Trump may have used the wrong word, but the sites were obliterated. You just can't kill uranium that way. Otherwise, Chernobyl, we would have just carpet bombed it and then been like, all right, it's all cleaned up. It just doesn't work that way.
Well, and it might be this. In America, we can talk about intelligence. Let's stop believing our intelligence altogether. Let's just ignore it forevermore because we can't say that it's been accurate. Let's just ignore it. Let's ignore history because it's maybe been wrong. So we ignore it. But the fact is our intelligence didn't know they could go 2,500 miles. The intelligence doesn't know who has a gun in our own country. And you believe that they couldn't have maybe achieved it, moved it, or have it at a secure location because the intelligence didn't know about their freaking other missiles. Now, we should know about those if they've been firing them off, right? But to have the warhead, they haven't fired it off. We don't know if they've got it or not because let's down there deep. We don't know what's down there unless we don't have anybody going in there that I'm aware of. Israel maybe did have somebody. Maybe they can say, no, we're not quite there. But the reality is we don't.
You and Jeffrey
and when you play too conservative with your let's just give him a shot. The guy takes the hammer and goes from
the zit has already popped. The zit has already popped. When the Ayatollah was taken out and 2 executives at the fake meeting they orchestrated, you would think that if they had a failsafe, they would flip that switch and say, "Fuck it, we've already lost, and we will dispense everything." Don't believe the lies about these cave fortresses. If you gotta bring a fucking rocket out of a hole from a mountain, you can blow that fucking hole to hell, and they ain't bringing out nothing. So it's not a failsafe. There's no such thing as a perfectly secure military fortress. You are living in fucking La La Land, in my opinion.
You're living in fucking La La Land, in my opinion. Licking whatever it is off the floor. Public service announcement to the retards that just entered the stage. Fuck up and wait your turn. Go ahead, Brad. Yeah, so like we have been we have a ton of sanctions on them, and North Korea just is irrelevant at this point. But it's, in terms of the IAEA or whatever it is, the alphabet agency, they have confirmed in 2023, they confirmed that Iran was at 60%. They stated that this is well beyond and it was 90% of complete of the ability to create it, because 60% is really like, it's just now basically a production factor and then putting it into a device to launch it. So this now becomes a massive problem. And then they said in 2025, prior to this, that yes, Iran has confirmed from multiple sites from the that they have that they are still in or exceeding the 60% threshold, and that they currently have 450 some kilograms or something like that they were able to confirm that Iran has. And the belief was, if they were able to confirm this much with the way that Iran has not been open to inspection and with what they see, there was beliefs that their administration, this was ongoing with issues. So
them getting closer and closer with reports. So I guess my mind is them getting closer and closer with reports. So I guess my mind is still saying, okay, I'm pretty sure they got it. But there's like, I'm trying to figure out, are there any reports that state that like, hey, once Iran gets this completed, they're going to just start blowing shit up and coming right at the, that to me is where I'm like, wow, we just popped up and started fucking with them last year.
The concern that they have that capability. IRBMs, I'm sorry, I said the wrong thing. They don't have ICBMs, but they have IRBMs, and then they have ballistic missiles. So we're aware they have these two different factions. And a lot of our politicians just automatically go to ICBMs. I don't know why they don't say the right thing. There's no them for us. It's more of preventing it for freaking area. Yeah, like take your ass out and get some. Yeah, like take your ass out and get some sandwiches, bitch. Crazy, you got it.
About like the different.
You going down in the kitchen while you make it. Which tactics? Which ones?
In terms of like the different types of warfare, right?
Yeah. I did touch on it earlier. Yeah.
Oh, okay, perfect. We're calling it adjusting.
Russia and Ukraine, yeah.
Warfare or full spectrum warfare, it's a wrap. But that's not what we're trying to do.
Well, that's the vast majority of the American people don't want to do it because we understand what the cost is. Juice worth the squeeze. We can do it. There's no question.
Before you say, I heard you say that it's not on the table, but isn't it also on the table?
Fuck, you asking him a question in the middle of him for your question. What kind of sense is that?
You said
He's in the middle of answering. We need to pay attention to the World Cup in the U.S. We need to pay attention to the World Cup in the U.S.
Oh my God. I can't answer that.
The whole world is traveling to one place.
Miss Mandrade, señorita, bonita. Hermosa.
something more during that time.
Now you're getting into conspiracies, but let's see. Also, more important times. You think it's a conspiracy?
Let me just, this is what you just asked before. So now, you kind of diverted over to the topic of terrorist attacks. And this is where Robert Page, he's actually, like, this is one of the things that he's really well known for. So he was one of the first professors to actually source every single.
But think about what he said about civilization to Allah. Like, it's not normal shit that a president said. I think he gives a fuck about optics.
Well, here's the thing. If he didn't give a fuck about, right? But here's the thing, though, and you're right. But here's the thing, though. What's transpired in the last few days? He made that threat to wipe out an entire civilization, and then what? An hour or two before that, and his work consistently been posting their 10-point list and has never wavered from it, never changed it. And so that's why everybody's skeptical. Was like, wait a minute, you said it was a workable 10-point list, and this is the 10-point list they've been showing since day fucking one. Then all of a sudden, Caroline Levitt comes on in front of the people and says, he threw, if you think that 10-point list that they've been presenting for this past month, a little over a month, almost a month and a half, if you think that's the list President Trump was referring to, no, he threw that list in the trash. So now the American people have the question, okay, so then what 10-point list are you talking about that's different from the one they've been consistently posting for the last month and a half? And then the White House has completely went silent now. And look, this is a bad look for the White House and the president.
Okay, so
I don't get it.
Playing checkers. It's playing checkers. It's called game theory. That's how it makes sense. Sir.
Says, he's gonna finish. Everybody have the right to protect themselves. It's only a fool who It's only a fool who go and get the nuclear weapon. Looking at what's going on right now,
Sir, are you an illegal alien in America? I just heard geese. Are you on a nature walk? Are those geese? Are you an illegal alien in America?
Oh, yeah, Tomo, you can finish it. Okay, go ahead, bro. Sorry.
The person who have ever used a nuclear weapon is America. He should not even be the one talking when it comes to nuclear weapon. Who's supposed to use it? He's the one who have ever used a nuclear weapon on a country. Why is he even the police of nuclear weapons? He's not even supposed to be using it or even talking about it. But he's the only person who have used it and killed innocent people. So, who gives him the right to be talking about other people how to get a nuclear weapon? This is real. Every country, a sovereign country, has the right to get a nuclear weapon if they feel that they are being threatened by another country. Being in Iran, being in Israel, being in Palestine, being in, how do you call it? India, Pakistan. Hold on. Let me finish. Some of you Africans, we consider Africans a dumb people. Some of you stupid fuck.
Never had one?
To interfere and